All right, guys, welcome to part two of Join the Crazees. Welcome to part two of Join the Crazees. Sorry about that. And so we're going to go to intro, and I'm just going to get into it. All right, guys. So check. 1 2 1 2. All right. So All right. So today I'm going to finish up the piece of the Crazees. So I'm gonna get this mic out of my face, and we are good to go. So in this scene here, I am going to be illustrating Super Crazy coming through the windows of this vehicle. Let's see, don't like that. I don't know if you guys can see me there. Yes, you can. Hey, thanks for watching. So this character is Super Crazy. He's going to be flying through the window of this bus. So if I zoom out, yesterday when I was live, I started out with these characters here, which were Crazy, Ultra, Psycho. And in the background, you have Extreme, Hyper, and Super. So Super is going to be flying through this window. And this is all from my Kickstarter that's going on right now. We're on our 4th day on our Kickstarter. We're at 56%. So I want to say thank you to all the pledgers that supported us on our Kickstarter. This is our second Kickstarter because the first one was back in September for issue number 1. And currently I'm working on issue number 2. Super Crazy is kind of, how would I put it? He is kind of gullible. He's very protective of Crazy. And Crazy is the leader. And Super Crazy, basically, he has a big set of headphones, oversized headsets. And what I'm going to do is normally Super Crazy has his hat forward. I'm going to make it backwards on this. Thank you guys for watching. So I'm going to put his hat backwards here. And just in case, these are the covers to issues number 1. The alternate cover done by Daphne Lage and this cover done by me. just in case you guys were interested in seeing this. And for those of you on Twitch, there it is. Currently streaming on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. So none of them are more than 4 feet tall. And just wave to everybody. Thank you guys for watching. As I was saying about Super Crazy, he's very protective of Extreme Crazy, who is this character here. Right here. This is Extreme Crazy. He's very protective of her. And she's an adolescent, and she's always, she thinks everything is a toy. Everything's a toy, and she likes to destroy her toys. So for the sake of this, I'm going to have him coming through the bus. And Super Crazy has some skinny legs. In fact, they all have like rocker skinny legs. So if you like Motley Crue or any kind of rock bands, they all have really skinny legs. And short legs, stubby. So now that I did that, I'm going to go to another layer and I'm just going to start inking over him. I'm going to change my brushes to inks. And the ink brush that I'm using is the Comic ink pen. And I usually just go over it with about 19 as far as the width. And I'll bring him over here, zoom it a little. Yeah, so I'm going to have his hat covering his face. I mean, I'm overlapping his eyeballs. And his hat is like squarish. So actually, in issue number 2, which is on Kickstarter right now, you get introduced to Super Crazy. And the link is in my profile for the Kickstarter. And if you want to watch this on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, it's Catch the Craze. The good thing about drawing here is that I just realized, hey Sam, you didn't put the piece for the headset. And that's why I have the eraser tool. Hey D. Hi everybody, thank you Duffy, thank you Penguin, Professor D, everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you Daphne for watching on YouTube, I see you. She's inking with me, awesome. So Daphne Lage did the alternate cover for this book. And she's currently running a Kickstarter as well, so you want to check that out for Ego Raven. Really good book. I did an episode of Ego Raven on What's in the Box, which is a segment of my podcast where I review and just give props to a lot of independent creators out there. So if you haven't seen What's in the Box, check it out. And then once in a while, what I'll do is I'll just zoom out just to see how it's going, just to look at if I need to change anything. So this scene was a happy accident. So on the live show where we were talking about the Kickstarter, I was drawing this out live, conceptualizing it. the bus wasn't supposed to be there, and then somehow it just made it on there. Um, and the good thing about working in layers is that you can always go back, and if you don't like a layer, delete it. So I'm gonna zoom back in. Fix this here. Okay, so we're gonna head over to extreme for a second. Change this to about 16. So you might hear some noise in the background, and that's my dogs trying to break in to this room. And I placed them in the dining room to avoid that from happening. And someone decided to let them out of the dining room, so now they're scratching on my door and wreaking havoc. So I wonder who's the master in this family, because I just closed the door for a second. They have to have their snacks at a certain time. It's crazy. You know, I gotta text the gatekeeper and tell him to control the dogs. Now you're gonna hear them barking. So this is extreme. She listens to Super Crazy. She's attached to Super Crazy. She doesn't like going anywhere without him. So I do have several channels on IG. Oh, seven, I guess. I don't know if you call them channels. Pages on IG. I have one for my book, There's an Alien in My Toilet. I have one for this book, which is Catch the Crazies, which we're currently on. Then I have for my podcast, Catch the Craze. And if you haven't checked out Catch the Craze, but you're a big fan of independent creators, you should. We interview a lot of indie creators, whether they're in comics, movies, music, uh, sculptors, photographers, cosplayers. We interview everybody, actors. In fact, the newest show that just started running on Friday was with Keith Dozie. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Anyway, he created an app called The Escape Room, and it's pretty dope. I believe that's episode 211 or 221. I don't know, 221 maybe. I don't know. I forgot. After we pass 200, I keep forgetting the counts. I'm going to have to fix that there. Hey, Milton, thank you for watching. Haha, long time no here, buddy. Um, yeah, so I'm looking up at all streaming places because I am on 4 different streaming services. Yeah, thank you. Yes, Milton has been a big supporter of the craze since 2005, I believe. It was maybe earlier, but we met Milton at Big Apple Comic Con, and he's become a friend more than just a supporter. He became a good buddy, um, full of life. Can't wait to get back to the cons and hang out with Milton and all the other guys that we met and we made friends with. So let's zoom out for a second. So this is all right. So that's the little one. She's running off, and he's flying through. The details I'll do later because I have to do the glass breaking and the whole bit. So I'm gonna work on sketching out hyper crazy. So I'm gonna go back and change to pencils. Oh, that dog is on a mission. And hyper is unique. She is definitely very conniving. I'm going to zoom in a little just in case. She's extremely conniving and manipulating, also dangerous. So the crazies come from elsewhere. That's right, brothers for life. The crazies come from elsewhere, and there's a 7 realms in elsewhere. And hey, Rob does Funko. Thank you, buddy, for watching. And in the 7 realms, there's levels. There's level 1 through 7, and the first level is the most primitive and it's the most chaotic realm. And the crazies are basically on like some sort of punishment. And so they're just excited to be able to leave the planet or that level when they are recruited by the crazy man on an assignment. And you'll learn about that in issue number 2, which is currently on Kickstarter. Plug. So issue number 2 for Catch the Crazees on Kickstarter. Go check it out. My link is in my profile there. And she is a wild stallion. I don't think I want to do that. Gotta get rid of that. I don't like that. Yeah, I'm gonna zoom out. So I can just, okay, there it is. So I'm just gonna put on, so she has a leather jacket on. What's up, comics? Cut man. Thank you for watching. She has a leather jacket on. She has chains. She has these boots that go past her knees. She's pretty dope. Gotta zoom in because I'm not liking this. So she's riding on this bus with her boots, and she's gonna be swinging her chain in the air at the boys. So then she'll have a chain here on her waist there, and so I'll fill that in when I do the inks. So I basically don't go crazy. I just want to see where so I gotta zoom out now. Yeah, so I gotta fix that. Not digging it, but so another thing about the crazies for all of you out there is proportionately they break every rule. Oversized heads, oversized hands, undersized bodies, eyeballs that are you can see from like 2 miles away. So there are no rules with the way they look. So I'm going to change this pencil to that pencil. Let's see. That's better. All right. And I tend to erase a lot because this is on a separate layer anyway. So this one, this leg back here is going to change because it's too small in my opinion. It's too small. And that's the only part of the process where you gotta I keep playing around. Um, okay. All right. So I know what that's gonna be. So when I go over with the inks, I'll add some details to it. The chain's gonna be here. She also has a microphone, so but I'm not gonna have her holding a microphone. I'm gonna have her swinging around a chain. And go a little crazy with the chain as it's flowing. Then her hair. Her hair is going to be flowing. Because the vehicles also was moving and they all just started leaping from the vehicle. So I want her hair to be a little wild. I can look it up once in a while. And then she has these big old headsets. But they're behind her. So they're hanging from the side. So they're not going to. So that's basically her. I'm going to go to the ink real quick, change my brushes. Go to my pens. Nope, I don't want that. I want ink pens. Go to my comic ink. Go here. I'm going to zoom in. All right. There she goes, Miss America. So, make sure my colors are right. Yep. I think 18 might be too much. Let's see. Okay. Oh, now I know what I'm doing. I didn't switch layers. There you go. And what I also like is that if I want, like I'm working on my sketchbook, so I'm able to use the pencil layer for the sketchbook when I'm doing the sketchbook as well. So that's also pretty dope. That I can export in layers, so I can actually, for image wise, I can have the pencil ink colored versions. So I'm gonna zoom out just to see what I'm doing. Okay, so this is how she's coming along. She's acting up. She's having fun. Go back up. What is that? Okay, that's me. Okay, so for her, I am going to So as I was saying, I have a book called "There's an Alien in My Toilet," which I self-published years ago, and so it was available in Barnes and Nobles and Borders and um, online at Target and a bunch of other bookstores. Um, and it did fairly well, considering my resources were limited. Um, but I had to walk away from everything for a while, for a long time, and so right now I'm just doing the links and following the the direction of the line. Make sure I zoom out because this might get bigger as we go here. Then I'll just connect these links. So when I'm doing these links right now, it reminds me of when I became a fan of "Hey, what's up, my unlikely hero." Reminds me of Todd McFarlane's Spawn from back in the days, and I used to sit there and say, "Man, he had to draw all those dang links, and the way he drew his cloak, and I got tired watching all the detail." It looks cool when it's done, but it's a pain in the caboose. Because I guess you would say I'm a lazy artist, where I prefer keeping it simple because I know how much time it's going to take to, for every little thing you add, you have to color it, you have to ink it, and so it comes another plug. If you haven't seen Cast the Craze podcast, check out Cast the Craze. I have a YouTube channel where we interview independents, and check out my Kickstarter for this book that I'm currently doing this cover for. Cast the Crazees, currently running. It's on. The link is in my profile. We are on day 4 of our Kickstarter. So I'm pretty happy because we're at 56% funding, which is pretty dope. This is my second Kickstarter ever. My first one was in September for this series. And this series is slated to be, I think, 12 issues, I believe. So this I gotta get rid of and redo it. I'm gonna redo that here. Get it closer because it was a little too far. So there's that part. Now she went even crazier on the top. So let's see who that. Okay. So we're gonna start with just here. So let me zoom out for a second. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. All right. So my goal is to really not to self-publish this time around. I don't want to self-publish. I want to get this series into a publisher's hands. So if there's any publishers out there watching, catch the Crazees. And you guys are probably like, what the hell is a catch the Crazees? Glad you asked. So if you like podcasting and you like comic books and you like just the geek factor, the nerd factor, cosplay, gaming, you're going to like this book. It's about two guys who started out in indie comics and they started a podcast many years ago when podcasting wasn't really a big thing, and they were very popular because there was no competition. But then one of them, which is Sam, which is my character, leaves, which is true. So it's loosely based on our story, but it's also, there's some fantasy element to it because there's supernaturals in it. But I walked away. Sam walks away from comics for personal reasons and gives everything up. And this was at a time when our show was very popular in the indie community, and we were hosting after parties. I also hosted the CAG award ceremony at the New York Comic Con, and we were featured in the news, national and local. Preview night, we were on Fox in San Diego at San Diego Comic Con. So there was a lot of things happening. We were talking to networks, and unfortunately, personal life takes over, and I had to leave and walk away from it for 10 years. And working the 9 to 5, grinding, not happy, missing everything about it. And George stood in the comic book world and wasn't getting any traction, and he felt there was something missing. So Sam and George reconnect after many years and start the podcasting again. And then the problem was they realized they're not going to be as successful as they were back then. They're not, because now the market is saturated. Everybody's podcasting. So now they're the underdogs. They have to start from scratch. So Sam gets obsessed. George thinks Sam's losing his mind, and George and Sam are being taunted by other podcasters. They bit off the name of Catch the Craze. They call themselves We Are the Craze, and they're three guys that are just taking advantage and really trying to humiliate Sam and George at any chance they get. And George thinks Sam's losing his mind because Sam's talking to himself, and then Sam goes out into the woods at night and calls upon the universe to help him become the best podcast in the universe. And that's when it gets real, because the old adage, be careful what you wished for, lest it come true. Well, that's exactly what happens here. So and that, without giving too much away, that sparks the entire journey of the Crazees, and it's just a prelude into what happens. So I'm not done with the change yet. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I don't like this here. Well, I might change that in a second. Does she have pockets? I don't know. Did I give her pockets? So this is her so far. This is what we're looking at. Let me zoom out. Yeah. It's looking pretty cool, I think. So, hey, Raul, Karab, and Kryptonic, thank you guys for watching. And let's lower this threshold. So I'm going to lower that and start doing the chains here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just adding the chains to this. I'll move this over. To her belt. There. All right, that's that. And then she has So Catch the Crazies is supposed to be a limited run, and then at the end of that series, they kick off into the Crazees, which is going to be their own series. I don't like that. Clean that one up here. And then get rid of that. So for everybody who just joined, hey, what's up, Medina Whip? There goes my partner in crime, George the Dreamer Medina. So if you're watching for the first time, check out Catch the Crazies on Kickstarter. I would love your support. Again, we're currently at 56% on day 4. This is for issue 2. We got some really great reward packages for this. And while you're at it, I'm currently streaming on Twitch and Facebook and YouTube. So if you get a chance, check out those locations and subscribe to our YouTube channel or Twitch, whichever you prefer. I'm new to Twitch, so this is my second time streaming on Twitch live. Hey, what's up, Shay? Veritas. Thank you for watching. Let's zoom out. There she goes. She's kicking butt. She's taking names. So here we have, so far, just so you guys know what's going on, for anybody who just joined on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. This is a concept cover for the Crazies, Catch the Crazies, and I started this illustration on our live show on Catch the Craze, and so here's where we are. So if I take out the pencil layer background, you'll see what's happening right now. Put that back in, take that out. There it is. This might be a double page spread cover, special edition cover. I'm not sure just yet because I do want to add the Dreamer, the Crazy Man, and Sam running. But we'll see how that works out. So let's go back to her. I want to get that Goldilocks hair flowing of hers. So one of the things I generally use the wand tool when I'm coloring. That's too big. So sometimes I leave these gaps. And then when I hit the wand tool, it goes everywhere. And I'm like, oh man, where's that hole? Now, plug it up. So I'll zoom in just to find it. And so here, give her some lashes. Make this part thicker. Might delete that. Yeah, there it goes. All right, so I'm gonna go into the bus. So basically, all the other stuff, the detail stuff, I add when I'm coloring. So I might put a pocket here. Her eyes, I forgot to add the eyes. Balls, the pupils. Okay. So let's get to the bus. This is the fun part. Yeah, right. So I gotta use the pencil for this. Pencils. Pencil layer. Change this. 20. All right, so I want it thicker. What am I using? I want 2B. Yeah, because the window is here. Last night I was watching The Raid Part 2. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but man, it's a crazy kick butt kung fu action movie. Actually, I'll do this right here. I was watching The Raid. I don't know if you guys seen it. What's up, Jacob? And I don't know if you've seen The Raid, but some of those hits, like if I got hit once by some of those hits, I'd be out. But these guys were still going at it. I don't know if that's adrenaline or what, but I'm like, whoa, dude. Should I be there? Nope, that's too far in. All right, this has got to be over here. And then get that bumper over here. I'm sorry, get the bump over here. Because those tires are going to be behind these guys. So, I don't know. So yeah, I was exhausted. This has been a big, busy week for us. Between the Kickstarter, between the shows, we have 4 interviews lined up this week. We pre-record a lot of shows, but we also do live shows. So we have 4 guests that we're recording back to back Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we're doing a live show on Thursday. Then I'm live drawing on the weekend. So it's pretty exhausting. I got to remember that I have these round. Oh no, that doesn't go there either. Well, yeah, they can because the door's on the other side. All right, so we got these round windows here. I got to make sure that I place those windows there. There's another one over here behind him. So I got to make sure that when I'm drawing this, I get those windows in there. I do all these fragments here. Gotta have these action lines. In fact, I did the bus. On where's my mouse? Sorry, guys. Desktop. Yeah, I was just trying to find my bus. Okay, so there it is. So that was. I'm gonna have to lower this. There. Got that. Got that. So what I'll do is I'll do all the fragments first, since they're gonna be everywhere, and then I'll draw the bus. I'm gonna zoom in. So anybody who's joining, I am drawing the cover for Cast of Crazees, which is a comic book we currently have on Kickstarter right now. Check it out. The link is in the profile. Your support is appreciated, and you're definitely going to like the book. Issue 2 will be available on print on demand on Indie Planet and I mean issue 1. I'm sorry, issue 1, which we had the Kickstarter in September for, will be on Indie Planet, but you can actually get it right now as a PDF from my website, crazycomics.com, which is with 2 E's and not a Y. So I'm currently using Restream for the first time, and I don't know if anybody's used Restream. But for some reason, while I am streaming on multiple platforms, Restream doesn't allow me to pull up the chat. For some reason, I'm looking at all the different platforms. I look up occasionally to figure out what's going on, which is a little rough. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh, okay. How did I do that? I did it from behind. That's... Now I see what I did wrong. I was trying to figure out, Sam, what are you doing over here? Let's get rid of this. And let's go. If you want it, you can. Let me know. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Boom. I'll zoom out for a second. Bum, bum. There it is. There it is. There's my boy Super Crazy flying into action. Happy to be escaping Earth. Little bus for little people. Not bad. So basically, I'm still doing the scene with him coming out of the bus. I'm just gonna zoom out. There it is. So I'm not an inker. I'm not a colorist. I'm a tracer. That's going to be my next comic, The Tracer. I admire those who make a living for inking. But that ain't me. And then I'll do the speed lines with color layers as he's flying out. Where's this? No, like that. Leave that alone. Let's go here. Nope. Nope. That's where I gotta zoom in. There you go. Better. And I forgot I had the windows here. So. So real quick, just an update. This is a cover for Cast the Crazees. Here is the comic book, and this is the alternative of the variant cover done by Daphne Lage. This is the cover done by me. This was issue number 1, which is going to be available on Indie Planet in about a week. We're currently running a Kickstarter for issue 2, link in the profile. Please check it out. Please support your fellow indie creators. And while you're at it, subscribe to Cast the Craze. I do a lot of drawing sessions on Cast the Craze. Plus, we have a lot of interviews with podcasters, with writers, artists, creators. If you into that. We love your support. All right, so I'm just going to give it a once over, eliminate the pencils just to see if there's any opening, any gaps that I need to close off for the coloring session. I'm going to zoom in. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I found a gap. Found an opening. No. If it's there, I'll find you. That's right, because he's over there. Look at that one. Boom. Here's one. Oh, look at that. What's that spot on your tooth? Got a plaque on his teeth. Gotta get rid of the plaque. Imagine getting bit by that. Get your rabies shot. All right, looks good. Zoom out. Let me save this. Sometimes I forget to save. The computer will crash and it's over. Hey, Michael. What's up, Mr. Gracia? Get in tune himself is watching. Thanks for the support, brother. If you haven't checked out his podcast, check out Get in Tune on YouTube. So the difference, I'm using Affinity Photo. The difference between this and Photoshop is that in order to select multiple sections with the wand tool, I have to hit a tab that says Add. Where in Photoshop, I just have to hold the key down and just keep selecting what I want, the Shift key. So that's one. Number two, while it imports PSD files, it does not recognize text from Photoshop. They say it does. Their tech support says it does, and I followed all the instructions, but every time I import anything from Photoshop that has text in it, it converts it to an image. So someone's lying. But other than that, I really enjoy using it. It's simple. And the reason why I switched to Affinity is because of Apple. Apple continues to upgrade, and when they do that, it basically, a lot of the programs with the previous iOS won't work with the new one, and so then you have to go and buy the newer version of the software you were using, and I got tired of that scam. So for $50, I got Affinity, and I'm able to do what I want when I want, and I'm just going to open up my character sheet, which has all the characters and their colors, to keep the colors pure. And so when I color them, they'll be in their own layers. Boom. And I forgot his eyebrow. Say it ain't so, Sam. Say it ain't so. The good thing is, I just go to, I'm still adding, and just drop it in. So this is crazy. So I always use my color guide, which is basically just a character sheet with the colors that we created them with to just keep it pure. So now I'll go back to this. And the only thing is with one tool, when you want to select a new area, you have to go to new, because if you keep it on add, it'll keep adding. There's the shirt. Gotta go back. Go back. Add a new layer. So every section of his body is going to have a different color. Whether it's his shirt, his sneakers, his jeans, the skin will have its own layer. Then once they do, I'll group them. And I'll keep them in a group and I'll label it crazy. And then those layers, when I start adding the color tones to them, the color tones will have their layers. So if you watch me on Saturday, you know, when I'm done, I end up with like 100 layers and sub layers, which is cray. Bum, 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 bum. So sneakers, they're going to have their own layers as well. So while it's not the glamorous stuff, it is part of the process, I guess. So I'm going to, I gotta zoom in for this. New. Oops. See, that's the problem. I have to, always got to remember to go and hit add, because I forget. Nope. Even the teeth get its own layer. So these are the flats for the characters. What's up, Crazed Comics? Um, these are the flats for the characters. Then when I'm done laying the flats for all of them, then I'll go over with the tones. So now that I have the flats, what I'm going to do is I'm going to group his. Then so now he's in one group. I don't have all these layers floating around to confuse me, and I can start on the next character, which is my boy Ultra. Does he have anything else? Red? No, it's just that, right? Yeah. So once I've colored them enough, it'll probably take me at least 12, 14 times. Then I'll master the colors, and I won't have to go back and forth between my character sheet to be able to do the colors. Okay. Nope. And that's another thing. Your color selection tool, your color picker, what it does is in Affinity, which doesn't happen in Photoshop. So Affinity adds extra steps for whatever reason. So it puts it in like in a holding pattern. So you have your primary and your secondary colors, right? Waiting, but then you have this holding pattern with the color that you selected with the color picker. Then you have to make sure you remove it from the holding pattern and put it in so you can be able to drop it. That's obnoxious, but what are you gonna do? Then if you don't watch, sometimes when you switch between a brush tool to a bucket tool to drop the colors in, it'll switch whatever your secondary color was. It moves it to the front, and and so if you're looking to drop a blue, and in the back was a white, when you switch tools, it switches the color on you. So you have to look up for that. So those are the things that are a little obnoxious about Affinity. Hello, Mr. Martian's Arts. Thank you for watching. Um, I'm gonna zoom out again. So here are the characters. This is the scene. Forecast the Crazees. Pinup or cover, not sure. Might be a wraparound cover, might be a pinup. I'll see when I'm done coloring it. I might do like a survey and get some feedback. I did a cover a few days ago. This is another one. Oops. Okay, so that is the flats for Ultra. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to group his layers. So now Crazy and Ultra are on their own layers right now. And I have in the background, I have the pencils hidden. So if I take out the inks, you'll see the flats. I don't need that anymore. Why is that there? Yeah, so you'll see, I'll zoom in. And that's just basically without the line work and just a pencil. So I might just drop the colors of the. Well, I gotta do Psycho Crazy. So let's get his skin tone in there. Oops. I keep forgetting to hit that add button. It's obnoxious. Affinity needs to work on that. That's black right there. Oh, here's his belly. Psycho Crazy is exactly that. Just nuts. Okay. Boom. He's looking to hurt somebody. And he has an arsenal of bats that he unleashes on you. And don't let him get those choppers on you either. It's going to be over. It'll be painful too. Let me see. That's blue. That's it. That's the only thing that's black. Yep. All right. He's got blue jeans on. Let's get those denim jeans in here. Ah. Zoom in. There you go. Put that with a black. What's the schedule for your live stream? They're very relaxing to draw. I like that we're working together. Actually, this is scheduled till 5. I'm streaming till 5 o'clock, Daphne. So Daphne's drawing while I'm drawing, and she said it's very relaxing. Well, thank you, Daphne. Yeah, I don't like that. Like that. Nope. Let's go here. Let's do this. And then let's open that. Get that. There you go. That's what I want. Boom. Hey, Trident Collectible. Thank you for watching. So right now I'm just working on his teeth, his choppers. Gotta hit add. New layer. Yep. So don't laugh. I don't know why I have Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears in my head right now. Don't know why that's playing. But it is. Oh, look at that. So now I'm just finishing up. So you see all these little light edges. So the wand doesn't get all that stuff close. So what I'll do is I'll go on a layer behind and I'll close them up with black. So I'm not worried about those little white ridges that keep popping out. I gotta figure out how to not have to go on an under layer, but it is what it is. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna zoom out. See what we got here. So far we have 3 of the 6 characters in this cover. For hey, what's up, Two Geeks Comics? Thank you for watching. So I'll zoom in for you guys so you can see. And again, there is the I'm gonna group. So you're gonna see just the phases. I will group these guys first. So right now I have them grouped, and so if I just take those off, this is where I started. This is the penciled version for you guys there. These are the original layers, the first layer for this cover. I'm going a little too fast for some people. And then when I throw that on, there's the colored, and if I add the line work, there it is. Now these are just the flats. And I noticed that with Crazy, his pupils, I never actually did anything to it. So what I'll do is I'll go in his groups. And within his group, I'll create another layer and I'll drop his pupils in there. Not his pupils, his eyes. And then I'll close up that group. And it's easier for me just to keep them in groups. See, there's a pro there. I got to figure that out with Affinity. Daphne, thank you. So Daphne said turn off the anti-aliasing in your program. So I'll figure that out with Affinity. Not a pro yet with it. That could be what's causing the white edges. It might save me some time. Thank you. Yeah, so let's see. So for those of you who are following on IG, Facebook or Twitch or YouTube, check out my Kickstarter, Cast the Crazees, issue number 2. Currently running. We're on day 4. Currently at 56% on day 4. We love to make goal this week so we can start opening up the stretch goals. We have some surprises in the stretch goals and the levels there. They're pretty awesome. The link is on my profile on IG. The link is also on my YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitch channel. And check out Daphne Lage's Kickstarter. She already, she's the queen of Kickstarters. She made her goals. She's on her stretch goals. Really fantastic series. Check it out. All right, so I'm going to drop in the bus colors. Let's see if I left any holes. Add. I see an opportunity here. Okay, gotta exit that. So I'm gonna go back to my brushes. Am I in inks? Yes. I missed something here. Oh. So you see what just happened? I selected black, but when I changed tools, it put me on gray. That's the stuff that drives me nuts. So I have to go back and look at colors before I start every time. There. Now I close that gap. Now I can go back and select. Grr. I saw another opportunity. I'll fix that later. I'm going to zoom out. Ah. All right. Here we go. Well. So, what's up, Action Toy Comics? So this is gonna be the bus, the Shagmobile, and so the crazy man, who's the one with the afro, who you don't see here, but if I switch over here, and let me zoom in. That's the crazy man right there, the one with the afro. That's Sam's alter ego. He is the supernatural being that comes to Earth. Now, he's so infatuated with Earth's 70s disco vibe, he thought that he'd blend in by becoming Mr. Disco himself. So he's a little out there. He's a little out there. He's a little behind the times. He thinks he has the cool factor, which he does not. But what are you going to do? You live and you learn, right? So, let's see. The rims, brown. Okay, so black. That's nuts. That's gray. It's black. So one thing I just noticed as I was doing the bus, I did not add the strip. So I'm going to drop the flats in now, and I'm just going to do the strip on a separate layer because the bus has this vintage strip along middle strip along the side that you would see on some of those old buses. Anytime, Daft, anytime. So I'll add that later. And sometimes that happens. I think what happens is you're looking at all the little things and you're trying, and then you miss something. At least I miss something all the time. Okay, so that's black. The strip is black. The windows are black. Okay. And that frame is. What about those? Oh, I didn't even add it there. I'm going to do that. The tires are. All right, let's drop it in. Boom. So I can see some of it, like right here between his fist. I missed that. Right there. Hold on. Okay. See that? Right there, I missed that too. Son of a biscuit eater. Anyway, it happens. What are you gonna do? So the windows, I start off with like a purplish flat, and then when I add all of the tones and reflections, all that stuff, it'll change up. So currently, this is for my Kickstarter for Cast the Crazees. Again, check it out on Kickstarter. Issue number 2, currently running. Will be on Indie Planet for print on demand. It's currently available as PDF format on my website at crazeecomics.com. That's with 2 E's and not a Y. My Kickstarter link is in my profile here at the official page of the Crazees. And if you get a chance, check out my YouTube channel, Catch the Craze with a DA. If you are an indie lover and you like all things independent, then subscribe to the channel when you get a chance. We have a lot of great guests. The guest that's currently running right now, his name is Keith Duget. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He created an app called the Escape Room, which is pretty dope. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're trying to figure out how to develop your own game and put a business plan together, you need to watch that episode because he does a fantastic job at articulating his vision, his work ethic, and his strategy. On that episode, which is currently running on Catch the Craze. And we're available on all platforms as well as Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Podcast, Apple Podcast, everywhere that the podcasts are distributed, we're there. So if you get a chance, subscribe. I do appreciate it. So I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I'm gonna save this file. I appreciate everybody who's watching. I am also open for commissions. Anyone interested in commission, just hit me up, DM me on IG or any one of my channels, or send me an email at contact@catchthecraze.com. That's contact@catchthecraze with a DA.com. And I'll respond. I do a lot of sketch cards as well. So this is the makings of the Crazees. I will continue this next week. I might finish it during the week and then start a new page, or continue it on Saturday. I'm not sure if I'm going to go live again till maybe the weekend with the drawing. But I do have a segment I'm going to upload where I colored the last cover that I just did, which is pretty dope. And so you want to check that out. Again, visit catchthecraze.com. Visit our Kickstarter. Give us some support. Check out Daphne Lage's Kickstarter. Give us some support. Thank you all for watching on IG. I wish I could see everybody's names now, but I can't. Oh, I could. Look at that. James Leetone, I guess, and D, and Wild Comics, and Duffy, and Penguin Comics, Professor Comics, Rob Does Funko Comics, Unlikely Hero, Raul, Crypto, Medina, Shea Verita, 52, Jacob, Michael Gracia, Craze Comics, let's see, Trident, Mr. Martian, Two Geeks, Action Toys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Milton P. Valentine, my brother from another mother. Miss you. Thank you, Daphne. I'm glad to have been drawing alongside you. I'm going to learn all your tricks and tips of the trade. I'm Sam. I am signing out. I'm going to go to the credits. And thank you again.